Hello, YouTube. I think today's episode is going to be about censorship and free speech. What even is it anymore? I don't know. I don't. Because all weekend, I watched a bunch of my favorite accounts get scrubbed from YouTube. I don't know what the heck is going on. What is happening? Some of my favorite accounts were just wiped in the blink of an eye with no warning whatsoever. Red Pill 78, Amazing Polly, What on Earth SQ, Edge of Wonder, Mouthy Buddha, not Mouthy Buddha, Destroying the Illusion, Praying Medic, CJ Truth. None of these people are advocating for violence. They're just sharing ideas and opinions and news and discussing what could happen, what has happened, and it's like they're not allowed to. Why? I don't know if I can answer that in this episode, but I can speculate. I can give my opinion, which should be considered free speech, right? I don't know anymore. You know, I read 1984 in high school, and we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. It's happening. We've got these social platforms that have literally like socialist, borderline communist standards, because you can use it as long as you use it the way they want you to. And you can say whatever you like within guidelines, but if you step outside of that, you can't use the platform anymore. Now that sounds simple, but what about when it starts to interfere with the truth, with an election? What happens when these social media platforms take control of the news and the information that we're learning and how it's coming out? Like, are we okay with that? Is that what's happening? Is that allowed? I don't understand what's happening right now. I understand that false news is dangerous, and I know that sometimes even I'm wrong, and that's okay, and it's okay to be wrong as long as we say, hey, I guess I was wrong about that. My bad. Clear that up. Here's the correct information. No problem. Except for the mainstream news. Who owns these news companies? What is going on? And the social media censorship is outrageous. Despite the algorithms of social media that are supposed to lure people in to continue to use it, they're still trying to kick people off. Are they going to blame it on just the algorithm? Are we breaking the algorithm? Because I still don't know why my first Twitter handle was suspended. I had a lot of growth over 3 weeks, and then it was just shut down. Like, that was too much power, and they just powered it down. They're also censoring government officials on Twitter. How is that right? How is that okay? Why is the media so mad about us sharing information the way we want to when they're the ones who have made it so fake and scripted? It's almost like there's one big power behind the news. This is an information war, you guys. I mean, we're not allowed to talk to each other before an election. That's stupid. This is blatant interference. And we live in a world where people who are trying to find out the truth and put themselves in the center and not necessarily take sides are made out to be extremists, while the actual extremists on either side are allowed to get away with whatever they do. Everything is so backwards. The people that I have met in this movement, you could say, there's no leader. No one's told to do anything in particular except question things, even things that they're told by other people within the movement. I don't follow 17 religiously, but I follow it a little bit, enough to know that half of the stuff they say about it is completely untrue, more than half.
Savannah Guthrie was playing deceitful and unfair hardball. she spent most of the night debating the president and asking him ridiculous questions in an effort to make him look bad. One of the most disingenuous came when she concocted nonsense about the infamous QAnon.
While we're denouncing, let me ask you about QAnon. It is this theory that Democrats are a satanic pedophile ring and that you are the savior of that.
Folks, Guthrie should be embarrassed that is the left-wing fictional account of QAnon. How do I know this? Because I did what Guthrie and NBC clearly didn't. Or if they did, they ignored it and lied to you. I have gone through QAnon's 4,880 posts. Now consider this. 100% of the mainstream media stories about QAnon claim Q talks about satanic sex rings, calls to violence, vampires, and even interdimensional demons. What the heck are those? But when I searched Q's posts on the aggregation website qanon.pub, I could not find one post that mentions any of these things. Zero. I did find Satan is mentioned by Q 10 times and pedophilia mentioned 13 times. Remember, that is out of nearly 5,000 posts, less than 0.1% of them. But in nearly every case, those words were in actual links to articles, many of which focus on the Epstein sex trafficking scandal. Still, Guthrie insists Q is a, quote, cult-like group of deviants who are all off their rockers. And she wants the viewers to believe those cult member deviants are all in love with President Trump.
The bombshells dropping about a certain candidate right now have been confirmed by several sources. It seems like this is fully on, and yet we've had trouble getting out into the public. Why is that? Could it be they're trying to control the outcome? Could it be that this matrix we live in is an entire puppeteer system to try and get us to think a certain way? And when we don't want to, we're policed. We're censored, we're removed, we're deleted, we're shadow banned. We're made not to be able to succeed as well as if we had a full audience. It's a little depressing, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure it has so much to do with like algorithm and growth and the danger of these certain hashtags as it does with the fact that some of these things are over the target. If free speech was allowed, and by definition, it is the ability to express an opinion or thought without being restricted or censored, then they would just let it go. Maybe they'd flag it for misinformation, but this information war is getting pretty dangerous. I mean, people should be allowed to speak. I don't understand. Anyone speaking out too much about certain things are getting shut down. And they're not encouraging violence. I don't get it, but I do at the same time. Now, I'm not going to say much about what's going on with this candidate because this seems to be what's getting people shut down. But I am, however, going to share a couple links and hope for the best. This news should concern everyone, regardless of their party affiliation. More and more things are coming out about the people in power, and they need to be held accountable. You can't just do whatever you want because you have money. I hope we can fix the world. I'm optimistic, personally. All we can do is keep talking about it. And while I may lose my channel just for sharing this information, I will figure something else out after that. It's unfortunate that this is how they're doing it, and it's more than YouTube. It's happening to people on their Twitter, on their Etsy. People's PayPals are getting taken away. All for advocating for certain ideas that don't hurt anybody and may or may not be true. But shouldn't we figure out whether they are first before banning them completely? Doesn't it say something when someone doesn't want to denounce something or speak out against it or talk about certain arrests? Doesn't the silence speak louder than anything? It's like you're just proving people's point by shutting them down. There's gotta be another way to manage this. A lot of people need to be prepared for some of these things that are gonna be coming out. A lot of people need to be prepared to be wrong about things. I feel like I'm one of those people that was wrong about some things, and now a lot of things are up in the air for me, but I'm open to a lot more than I used to be. This year's changed me so much. How much control are we supposed to let these people have over us? Are we really gonna let them tell us how to talk about things? Like how much are we willing to take? And what are we gonna do about it? I don't have answers. I don't. I just don't understand what's going on. I'm still bent on speaking up. I'm gonna figure it out either way. I probably have to get a job soon because the censorship that I'm experiencing is affecting my income, but I'll be okay. Our thoughts and ideas are being policed, you guys. Are we okay with this? I'm not okay with this. Are you? People in power who create giant platforms for others need to be held accountable. They shouldn't be allowed to do whatever they want and then silence us for trying to talk about it. I appreciate all you guys for stopping by. Again, don't forget to check out the links that I'm sharing in the bottom. They're very important because I'm not going to go too much into them. That seems to be what's getting people knocked off of the internet. So check out the breaking news about the candidate. We're so close to the election, guys. This is huge. I'm not even sure if it's going to happen. If it does, they have to put in a replacement right away because this should disqualify the candidate, if you ask me. Like, he shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be allowed. And nobody can find any kind of proof like this about the other candidate. I'd like to see it if you've got it. If you want to know how to support me at this time, you can go to judithrose.co. I've got a website of my links and ways to support me like Patreon and all kinds of stuff. I do sell music as well. I've got a song called Wake Up. Hopefully it can help you feel better on one of those down days. I like to play it at the gym. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I appreciate each and every single one of you right now. Leave a comment if you're so inclined. Hopefully I will see you guys next time. Assuming I still have a channel after this. Bye-bye.